I'm going to walk you through what I'm looking for on a post-flight or even a pre-flight walk around of the aircraft. So typically I'll start from my door, which is on the right hand side. A lot of the stuff you're looking for is just the general condition of the surface of the aircraft, any rivets that might be missing, cracks in the surface, things like that, but I don't want to reiterate too many times. Here I check for the light bulb, for the leading edge of the struts, all of these types of filters. This is the weather radar here, and this is the pitot static tube. I'm looking for a couple of clear holes through there so you can actually see that. That means that it's not blocked with any kind of water or residue. Same thing with these lights here, strobe and nav lights here, trim tabs, these security pins up here. I check those all along, up and down the wing and back on the elevator. The condition of the tires and the wheels themselves. Check all of these bolts are in, and the paint tells you if there's a change in the thread. Here on the brakes, I check for any fluid, the brake pad itself, and the strut as well. Then I come up here onto the inside of the aircraft. You can see the seats here. I always make sure the seat belts are nice and tidy. Passenger's seat for a life jacket that's currently in date, as well as a safety briefing card. We also have bags just in case. Then at the back of the aircraft, it's a similar story. Just checking all of these security pins. We also have static wicks up here, which are for build-up of static electricity, which gets discharged, like lightning, for example. We've got 4 total on each wing, and we have to have the 2 outboards, but we can technically fly without the 2 inboard ones. Sorry if you can't hear me, obviously it's loud out here on the apron. Static wicks on the rudder, the vertical stabilizer, tail stand is in. It's effectively the same process for each side for the wings. Inside the cargo pods as well, so you can see the fuel line here, so I check that. On each side, first of all, there's the fuel reservoir, fuel drain here, and fuel drains up there as well. I drain every time we refuel to make sure there's no water or any kind of fuel contaminants. And on the inside of the engine cowling, I'll check the circuit breakers, brake fluid, EPA can, fuel filter. You don't need to know what all of these things are, but these are just the things I look for whenever I'm doing a pre-flight. The alternator as well. There's a fire loop in here as well. It's a bit of a bird's nest and hard to describe everything, but I'll always look inside the cowling. Here we have a drag link connection, so I check that. Check here. Check these tires. The condition of all of the propellers as well. Make sure there's no big twist in it or cracks in the propeller. There's air intakes here as well. Check those aren't blocked. On the other side of the cowling, we've got things like the exciter. This is a very big battery. Check the connection's fine. The fuel control unit is up there. This is the heater line. And again, it all comes back to just general condition stuff. There are specific things I'll look for, but a lot of it is just making sure it clearly looks okay. The connections to the big exhaust pipe. We've actually got 2 exhausts. It might be hard to see, but we've got a secondary exhaust. Other than that, it's just the documents on the inside of the aircraft that we need to fly. I could probably do a 20-minute long pre-flight if you really wanted to see the nitty-gritty details, but hopefully that's a good brief rundown of what we look for on the Cessna Grand Caravan as Susi air pilots. Obviously, the whole point is to cross-check, cross-check, cross-check. It's another great example of redundancy and layer upon layer of safety in aviation. If I'm double-checking, the captain's double-checking, ground crew, engineers, everyone under the sun, checking the aircraft to make sure they are in a good condition. And we're just in time for the fuel truck.